Hi, I'm Gary Ford from Tiger Hobbies Limited. Welcome to this video introducing one of our import plastic kit brands, IBG Models of Poland. IBG started about 30 years ago doing hobby imports and distribution, very similar to Tiger Hobbies. But I think around about 2008 took the plunge to produce their own plastic kit models. Now, some of the early ones were, I think, Eastern European subjects, though they did some more Western Allied subjects and some of the German subjects as well. But they also had a great selection of British and Commonwealth soft skin vehicles, such as the Bedford QL you can see on the top left on the display. These are done in 1/35th scale, and they also do a selection of 1/700 scale naval ships, mainly British and Polish manned destroyers and frigates. IBG models are sometimes overlooked compared to some of the more well-known companies, but have started to grow over the last few years into one of the leading European plastic kit brands. They have released a good number of Afv'S, but not like the usual Tigers, Panthers and Shermans, but vehicles like the Crusader and the Cromwell family of vehicles, plus a really good selection of armoured fighting vehicles from the Japanese armed forces in World War II and Italian subjects, plus Afv'S from Hungary as well, which is unusual. Their selection of 1/72nd scale soft skin vehicles, especially British and Commonwealth, is possibly the best out there, plus a great range of Italian, German and US trucks. In recent years they've increased their aircraft selection, moving from a Polish World War II aircraft to German FW190D Doras, plus German gliders, and recently released the start of the Spitfire family. You may say, oh no, not more Spitfires. But the Spitfire was built in many variations, and believe it or not, many have not been done before in plastic kit form, believe it or not, in 72nd scale, such as the early PR or photograph reconnaissance Spitfires, and these are all now planned. We shall look at some of these later in the video. Before that, let's look at a selection of IBG kits that are in stock at Tiger Hobbies at www.tigerhobbies.co.uk. So, on the camera, up to the left, you'll see a 1/72nd scale Bedford QL tanker, the wartime variant. The old Afv'S 176 kit, much loved by all modelers, was actually a very late war, or actually early post-war variant, but is often placed with Battle of Britain aircraft in their sets. The IBG version is an actual wartime version. The wartime version kept all its refuelling pipes located in the back of the vehicle. Now this retails at £11.49, which is really good value, as of February 2026. IBG also do the later war versions with pipes and booms located on top of the tanker. And if you're modelling an aircraft diorama using a Bedford QL tanker, this should be post-1942, even for the earlier wartime variant. I'm just going to show you one of the 35th scale versions that IBG do. So I'm just going to put that there so hopefully you can see it. There you go. So this one is a 35th scale Bedford QL, and you can see this is in 35th, similar to the 76 scale old Afv'S one. So it's got the refuelling booms and pipes located like a lot of modern aircraft refuelers on booms located at the top of the tanker. But this would be used, say, in the very late part of the war or early post-war. But again, all the Bedford QL tankers and also Bedford troop transports and various other logistic and cargo trucks are done both in 72nd scale by IBG and 1/35th scale. So, below the Bedford QL tanker, and if you can see, is an unusual British early post-war tank. Bit of a compromised vehicle. This is the IBG 72112 1/72nd scale FV4101 Charioteer. This is based on a Cromwell chassis armed with the 84mm 20-pounder gun that was also found on the Centurion Mark III. Now, it was in a very lightly armoured two-man turret, but really was more of a tank destroyer, even though the British, in service, it was designated as a tank role rather than tank destroyer. It's overseas service with the Middle East, and it served in conflicts out there, actually remained in service with some Middle Eastern countries until the early 1980s. And these have a recommended retail price of £17.49. Across to the right is IBG 72106, a 1/72nd scale Scamble tank transporter with TRCU-30 trailer and a Crusader Mark 1/Mark 2 tank. This is a very detailed model with the tractor having full interior, including engine detail, and is great value at £31.99 for the combo set. The transporter can be purchased as a separate model for £21.99 and the Crusader tank for £13.99. You'll see a Crusader tank just to the right of it. Below this is a new set, a 72nd scale or 1/72nd scale Italian AA gun set, comprising of an Italian 90mm AA gun on an Italian 3RO truck and an ammunition carrying truck, all for £34.99. Again, extremely detailed, and you can purchase also 3D printed Italian wartime AA crews. Further to the right, to classic British Afv'S, again the Crusader, and we have a full family of the Crusaders from the Mark 1s to the later 6-pounder equipped Marks, and recovery and AA guns, and these are all about £13.49. Below this is a Centaur Mark 4 fire support tank. These ran with the earlier Liberty engines as speed was not a factor, but the rest of the family of the Cromwell ran with the powerful Rolls-Royce Meteor engine of over 600 brake horsepower, basically a down-tuned Merlin engine. Again, IBG do the full range of 1/72nd scale Cromwells, including support variants, all for about £15.99. They also do a really good selection of Japanese tanks, as I mentioned earlier on, and Italian tanks. And here's another unusual vehicle, again a British one. Not done by many people in 72nd scale. This one's a auto light reconnaissance car. It looks quite old. It looks like something from the 1920s and 30s. But these armoured cars were used extensively by the British Armed Forces during the Second World War, and used a lot by the Royal Air Force Regiment, I do believe, again during the 1944 North West European campaign. But again, this is the typical IBG 72nd scale plastic kit. Again, doing vehicles that a lot of the other companies just simply ignore. To finish this look at the IBG models, we'll take time to have a look at a 1/72nd scale IBG tooling. This is the Daimler armoured car, as you can see in front of us. I'll just put the parts out, so you should be able to see the parts. They're all individual bagged. You get a really great amount of parts, and including, there you go, a bit of edge parts. The instruction sheets are really well detailed. It comes with both English and Polish language instruction sheets. And as you can see, for a £14.99 kit of a quite small vehicle, you've got full interior fighting compartment. It doesn't come with the engine, but the fighting compartment, the drivers and the turret area with the gun breech and things are all detailed. Like I said, IBGs are for the more experienced modeler, but you're going to get high levels of detail, but not a high price. They're very, very good value, IBG, generally, and most of the single soft skins vehicles are well sub £20. So finally, we're going to look at the new IBG Spitfire. Now this has recently arrived. Let me just move these the Daimler, bring in the Spitfire. Again, as you can see by the box, it's actually crammed full of parts, and you also get a really comprehensive detail sheet and edge parts as well. So this is a Spitfire Mark 1 early version over Dunkirk. These Spitfires have gone kind of under the radar a bit with the model reviewers, there's only just a few model reviews just starting. I will leave a link to a number of these reviews, which much are very, very good. As you can see in the box, it says it's rammed with parts. And yes, there are more. These are more for the experienced modeler, but you're getting levels of detail not seen on other 72nd scale Spitfires. The retail price of $23.99 is generally higher than the competitors, but the competition does not have the level of detail. And the price is also comparable to the armour range, again which we import, which price around about $24.99 for a 72nd scale fighter, again with great detail. So these models are aimed at the modeler who wants to go to town with their model. But there is enough spare parts in the box to upgrade, say, at least 3 early airfix Spitfires with upgraded clear parts, props, exhaust stacks and tailplanes. Also, IBG will be doing what you call Spitfire Mark 5B VB overtrees for about £10 each. These are just the plastic parts and etched with no details or instructions, but can be used to complete Spitfires from either the IBG twin packs, and there's also a twin pack for a Mark 1 and Mark 2, and coming is a upcoming Spitfire Mark 5B twin pack. So once again, thank you for taking time to view this video about IBG models. If you're a UK hobby store, both bricks and mortar or online, and wish to sell IBG models, please go to our website at www.tigerhobbies.co.uk and use the trade contact link. Once again, thank you for taking time to watch this video about IBG models.